to whoever may be watching this video, classmates, teacher, or just someone who happened to stumble across this. So for my final project, I decided I was just going to shoot a video and upload it to YouTube. Here I am. So for my video, I thought I'd do it on different studying techniques. Now, I don't want to sit here and just read off a script that I wrote and just read out of a textbook for you, because I know that's going to be boring and you're not going to really care. So I want to make this video as normal and just the tips I've picked up and learned throughout this course. So I'm going to give you my best tips that I've been using throughout this whole course, and actually throughout this semester, just from what I've learned from the textbook and from doing assignments and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope maybe you find some useful tips that I have to present to you, and maybe you'll use them. I don't know. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so my first tip for studying is to study throughout the whole semester, not just cramming everything before a test. For example, you're in class during a lecture or wherever, whatever kind of class you have. Go home that night and read through the slides again, or read the chapter maybe once or twice, just so you get familiar with it. Because cramming everything the night before a test isn't going to help, and I've unfortunately learned that the hard way. My next few tips have to do with while you're actually studying. So things that I actually use and find useful is if there's background noise or music or a TV on or something, I study better. I don't know why, it's just if I'm in dead silence, I can't really focus, if that makes sense. Some people like the quiet, but some people don't like the quiet, so I would suggest listening to music, having the TV on, or going into a more public place like the school cafeteria or the school's lounge and studying if you're someone that likes background noise. I often go to the school's cafeteria to study just because there's white noise in the background and there's often a lot less things to distract me from as opposed to being in my room. Another tip while you're studying, don't study super late at night, because if you're studying at midnight the night before the test, or just in general, you're going to be tired and your brain's not going to really soak in what you're reading and trying to teach yourself, just because you're overtired, and that's what your brain's automatically thinking of, like, go to bed. Try studying at decent times of the day, not late at night. Some people study throughout the day till late at night, but don't just open your textbook at 11 o'clock and study till midnight, because you're just going to want to go to bed. Another really good idea is studying with a group of friends. Like I said, I go to the cafeteria and I'll go with a group of friends and we'll all study, because there's lots of different things throughout the course that other people are going to know that you're not going to know, or you're going to know that other people aren't going to know, and you can all just help each other. I wouldn't suggest studying in like groups of 10, but 2 to 4 usually helps, because everyone can offer something different and they might know something you don't know, and you just can help each other out and it works well together. And when you're all studying for the same thing, you might as well be together anyway. Now, my next few tips have to do with memorizing things. So one thing that's really good for memorizing is using acronyms. If you don't know what an acronym is, it's when you take a phrase or a word and you only use the first letters from each word, and then you just come up with your own little word. Like, for a really obvious example, LOL stands for laugh out loud. If you need to study for something and there's like a set of words you need to remember, make an acronym up for it, and it'll help you remember and trigger what you're trying to remember when you're thinking of it while taking the test. Another thing you can do to memorize specific things is rhymes or little songs or whatever in your head. You make little rhymes up or little sayings up that help you jog your memory and remind you of what you're trying to learn. And while you're sitting in the test, you can think of
think in your head what you were thinking, and
that'll help you. Next few tips don't have to do with studying exactly. They have to do more with taking the test, but I thought they'd be useful to throw in here. While you're in the test, it's important that you find a spot that you know is not going to be distracting. I personally like going for a far back corner or somewhere in the back or somewhere along the side where I'm kind of isolated from everyone else, because then I'm not paying attention to what everyone else is doing. If anyone's fooling around or talking, it's just like me in my own little world. It's quiet, whatever. That's something that definitely helps me while taking the test. Another tip for doing the test is bring lined paper. Bringing lined paper is extremely helpful, especially if the teacher doesn't offer you any. When you have your own lined paper, you can kind of, as soon as you get the test, jot out notes of everything you remembered, of everything you studied for, everything that you can remember, and then that's kind of like your own little reference page during the test, or your own little cheat sheet, but it's technically not a cheat sheet because you're making it during the test. And also it just gives you another place to jot out ideas and things you might randomly remember that you could need during the test, and it's just really helpful, I find. Another thing while taking the test, if you're ever feeling cramped or just overwhelmed, ask the teacher to go leave the classroom and go out and get a drink of water or go for a quick walk and come back. Now, odds are they might not let you because there's the chance for you to cheat, but it's worth a shot, and it could just help refresh your brain and chill you out. You can go back in and take your test. For all these tips I tried not to just go word for word from a textbook, because I know no one's going to listen to that and they're just going to be like,
what do you know? You are just reading what I can read.
I wanted to use tips I actually use because I know they work. For me anyway. I'm the type of person that's not good at studying. I'm often a procrastinator when it comes to studying. I'm not a big fan of studying, so anything I can do to help make it better or just imprint things in my brain more, I'll definitely use. And I hope you find these useful, and I hope maybe anyone watching this will use these tips as well. Studying is definitely something you can't escape being a student, so you might as well embrace it and do whatever you can to study your best. And I hope these tips helped, and I hoped you enjoyed this video and it wasn't too boring. Have fun studying. I know you probably won't, but gonna say it anyway. Bye.